Welcome to Gas Cylinder Tracker. Lesson 2, Knowing Your Supplier System, Part 2. Before you contact your supplier's manager there to go and sit down with them and learn about their system, what you need to do is sit down and create a list of topics you would like explained about your supplier system so that they're forewarned as well. When you contact them to make the appointment, explain to them these are the things you would like to cover while you're speaking with them, and that gives them the chance then to prepare themselves for what you're going to discuss. First thing you're going to ask them to do is give you an overview of how their system works. Just have a general overview so that you understand what they're doing and how they're doing it and how it will affect you. From there, you want to know about company terminology and the codes they use. Now, like with any business, we all have different terminologies and codes that we use within our business to operate, and gas cylinder tracking is no different. And each supplier is going to have their own terminology and their own codes. So you need to make sure that you're familiar with the codes and terminology that your specific supplier uses. Examples of this is the type gas codes, like for oxygen O20, acetylene O40, and the likes of this. So that's just one of the examples of the codes you need to discuss with your supplier. Cylinder size codes. Now, generally, depending on your supplier, they're going to have different cylinder size codes that go with this, such as they will generally combine the gas type and the cylinder size, such as an O20, which is oxygen, and then they might start off with a C size cylinder, which is a very small one, and progress up to a D, an E, and a G. So these are the different things that you need to discuss with them, get a full explanation of what these codes mean and the size cylinders they're actually referring to. Color codes is another one. There's a bit of a problem with color codes, I find, because we have no international standard for color coding of cylinders. So you need to ask your supplier what the color codes are. But one of the main things that you have to remember is do not rely on color codes for the gas contents of the cylinders. And it's vitally important you teach your staff to look at the labels that's also on that cylinder to identify the gas contents of it. Don't rely on color coding, because there could be a cylinder come in from someplace else that doesn't fit in with the standard color coding. And there have been several accidents, deaths, incidents, and material damage caused by mix-up in color codes. So make sure that your people are all aware to look at that label, but you still want to be familiar with your color coding. Customer location and drop points. And once again, this is terminology, drop point. Okay, that is a customer location. Within a company, you may have several different locations within a city, within the state, within the country. Now, each one of those locations is a delivery point where cylinders are delivered to. Those are called a drop point. Okay, so you just need to be familiar with those and be aware that they do have them. The next thing you want to talk to them about is what data they actually track. Once you have an understanding of what your supplier is tracking, then it makes it so much easier for you to implement the same thing within your system. Once you've got your system developed around theirs, everything fits together like a glove and makes tracking of cylinders so much easier for you. So that's where we're going to leave it for today on Lesson 2. We will continue on with Lesson 3. So I hope you found that information helpful and gives you some idea of how to plan before you go on to speak with your suppliers. So we will continue on with other things that you need to ask your supplier within that checklist to go with in lesson 3. So I look forward to speaking with you in lesson 3. Thank you.